A week after the show's controversial season 27 premiere, South Park is taking the week off, according to a video posted Tuesday on South Park Studios' YouTube page, which also gave a little trailer of the next episode, inking a $1.5 billion licensing deal, and a premiere episode that heavily mocked President Donald Trump. The week off likely has nothing to do with either event. South Park has been known to skip weeks.
I couldn't believe how hard it went. I mean, it went hard.
It went hard.
And bringing back, like, you know, remember the old Saddam Hussein, Satan? It went all the way back to old school South
Like
Park.
Old callback right after burning Kristi Noem in their brutal ICE Barbie Takedown. South Park made the ultimate hold my beer maneuver by postponing a new episode. They smiked at the indignation and said, "Let's make them wait just to twist the knife because honestly, who's going to stop them?" All of a sudden, South Park was dark.
The team recruits. I'm Kristi Noem, head of Homeland Security.
Oh, she seems nice. Okay, very pretty.
A few years ago,
I do think that it hurt his feelings because he didn't really make a statement about it. Like, the White House kind of made a statement about it, but then he didn't go off. Like, he goes off.
Once more, they made waves on the internet 2 weeks ago when they made fun of Donald Trump in their Serpent on the Mount season premiere. The show abruptly skipped another week after releasing an even more outrageous episode that demolished Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, whom fans have nicknamed ICE Barbie. 3 episodes with 2 breaks. South Park isn't being lazy there. That's a game that South Park is playing. And the stakes are quite high this time.
You know, Bruce Springsteen, like, he goes off on Harvard, like, he goes off on things and ideas that people who are against him. But he only sort of made one sort of remark about South Park, I think, through the White House, and then never did. So I think he's actually pretty bent out of shape.
Because there is more to this than a chance lapse in the schedule. It comes immediately after they attacked Noem's public persona and political jugular in a manner that even their harshest detractors had to concede was vicious.
Do that. If they wanted to criticize my job, go ahead and do that, but clearly they can't. They just pick something petty like that.
Noem wasn't only a cameo in the previous week's show. She was made into a full-fledged cartoon villain, a glamorous ICE agent with impeccable hair, faultless makeup, and a strong fixation on media attention and Botox. This Barbie, however, did not reside in a fantasy home. As she patrolled the border, she posed for pictures and arrested anyone who appeared Hispanic. It was barbaric. However, South Park was far from finished.
I talked to the president about your accomplishments, and he says he wants to help you with your nut.
Really? He does?
That's right. We have orders to get you on a plane.
Oh, no.
The president wants to thank you.
They included an additional scene that was never shown, which elevated the spoof to a new level. Noem gleefully slaughters a puppy-filled pet store in it. Puppies, indeed. The kind of outrageous shock humor that has been the foundation of South Park's success, but also the kind of imagery that leaves a lasting impression on viewers. The worst part is still to come. It wasn't arbitrary. Her meticulously constructed political brand was the direct target of it. The governor of a small town who loves animals and Americana, always smiling and picture-perfect. They were aware that a video of ICE Barbie killing puppies with joy would be more offensive than any criticism of the policy. It is a weapon of political satire.
Immigration and customs enforcement. If you need a job, it's a job to have.
As expected, Kristi Noem snapped. When South Park called, she didn't dismiss it like some politicians do. She immediately went to the press, denouncing the presentation as indolent, and saying it was simply another instance of radicals and liberals ridiculing women for their appearance. That's framing, not just a complaint. In an attempt to shift the topic away from immigration raids and political posturing and toward sexism, she was shifting the discussion from why South Park singled her out to how they did it.
Yeah, it never ends, but it's so lazy to just constantly make fun of women for how they look.
This is where it becomes peculiar, though. Comedy Central didn't simply broadcast the following episode as scheduled, just as the outcry over the Noem episode was at its zenith. Rather, they announced August 13th as South Park Day, aired fan-favorite episodes, included interviews with Trey Parker and Matt Stone, and even re-aired the original episode from 28 years ago. There was no new material or follow-up, just a pause.
It's 13th is South Park Day.
What I think happened here, I think they saw the response that episode got last week.
They have done this twice in the last 3 weeks. They missed a week after their Trump mocking premiere and aired the same program again, which viewers quickly surmised was a covert reaction to White House pressure. Another gap now, following the ICE Barbie takedown. Additionally, keep in mind that South Park is not often a show that falters. They even thrive on instant criticism. Why, therefore, the abrupt hesitancy? The fact that the pauses were scheduled months in advance leads some fans to believe that it's just scheduling. Indeed, Comedy Central maintains that South Park Day this week was prearranged. It feels more like a calculated pause when you align it with the action on screen rather than a coincidence.
What do you make of this new South Park, which is specifically Trump-centric?
It's healing. You know, it's like seeing the tiny penis was so healing.
Because this is the truth. There's more to South Park than humor. In half-hour episodes, they are engaged in a cultural battle. It's not for a cheap chuckle when they target someone like Gnome. It involves putting out a meme, a picture, or a thought that is so incisive that it breaks through all the political clutter. The glitzy ICE agent killing puppies. Long after the show airs, people will continue to discuss and share that kind of content.
You did a good job in there, soldier.
Okay, thank you, Captain.
I know it's tough doing what's hard, but we could use more men like you in a
Whoa, what the fuck?
Your Botox, Miss Nom?
Oh, yeah,
fix me up.
Another day doing what's tough.
And the greatest approach to ensure that moment endures is to not replace it with something new right away. You gave it room to breathe. You let the indignation to grow. You informed Christie that he continued to speak. You allowed the media to play the clip repeatedly. Additionally, your stage is larger than it was when you last visited.
You guys have probably heard the character say deplane. I've never watched that show. Have you watched that show? You watched some old
No,
shows.
I've never. No, I
I've only
haven't seen
heard
Fantasy.
deplane.
Yeah, and that doesn't speak well for it.
This makes it more than just an episode delay. It has to do with how South Park steers the discussion. They made a single night of satire into a multi-week political problem for Kristi Noem and her supporters by skipping a week. There isn't a new episode every day. The final line of South Park is that dog scene. It's brutal. It's planned. And it's functioning.
That was perfect. They go hard. I mean, look, I think anyone who's seen pictures of Kristi Noem a decade or two ago and now realizes that it's an entirely different person, but boy, do they go